Let's eat. Let's eat. Texans beat the Oilers, Titans. I don't even know what the hell they were. Who cares? Let's go inside the locker room.
Yeah, it's the locker room on YouTube. You know what it is. Let's get it. Hey, locker room. Yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk. Yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize every angle's what we really do. We the source. We the pulse of the city too. Landlocked. Got the game in the headlock. Localize every time.
What a game. What a game it was. It is the locker room, number one source for Texans daily digital content. I'm Landry Locker. You can hear me Monday through Friday, 10 to 2 on Sports Radio 610 and the Odyssey app. What a game, man. A lot of drama leading up to this, the Love You Blue stuff. I kind of rolled my eyes at it because I thought it was kind of corny. I thought it was kind of a boomerish. But leading up to it, it just kind of felt like a little bit petty and kind of corny. And it almost felt like they were taking it and by they, I mean Amy Adams stank. She was taking it to like an extreme, really corny level to where I don't think you should get too upset with it, but it was a little bit weird. I will say, and it was definitely a much more important game for the Texans than the Titans because the Titans obviously not trying to get in the playoffs. Texans are. It is the locker room, number one source for Texans daily digital content. Be sure to subscribe, like, right along. I just don't really understand this whole Oilers thing. Like, what is the payoff of this? That would be my question. Like, what is the payoff of this? Because when I'm doing a show, so when I'm doing a radio show, and I do a radio show, I've done a radio show with John Lopez for 6 years, Figgy Fig. I've done it for 6 years. And if you asked each of us, like, what are you most passionate about? Like, what are each of you the most passionate about? For Lopez, it would be Texas A&M football. He's in the Texas A&M Hall of Fame. That's where he graduated, etc. And for me, it's Texas Longhorn football. Didn't graduate from there. Parents met there. Parents got divorced. That was my road trips with my father. It was the one thing that my parents agreed with. And Texas Longhorn football is the thing that I'm most grateful for. That I most care about. Even when I went to other colleges, that was what I rooted for. You can ask anyone who went there with me, anything like that. That was always my thing. And I promise this is going to make sense. The reason I bring this up is because the audience that you present to doesn't necessarily care about what you care about. So Amy Adams stank. Her problem, like with this whole thing, outside of like some cool uniforms, is she made it about her. I don't blame her for feeling the way she felt at all. But to make this about you in such a blatant way, it makes you look stupid. It makes you look really corny. It makes you look whack. Like you're sitting there and you're doing all this Oilers stuff and like people are embracing it. And eventually people on Twitter are going to start over fabricating it because they know that it's going to make people from Houston upset because people from Houston grew up with the Oilers and you're doing this. But like the people from Tennessee never cared about it. So you made yourself look kind of weird, honestly. Like you made kind of a fool of yourself. Me and Lopez have never done one full segment of Texas A&M or Texas football, ever. It's never happened. You know why? Because we actually care about our audience. Amy Adams Stank doesn't care about her audience. All she cared about in this whole instance was herself. That was it. All she cared about was herself. And she made herself look stupid. And she disrespected the hell out of this city along the way. It was hilarious. It was weird. It was goofy. All that. We'll get into this. We'll talk. We'll hear from DeMeco Ryans. We'll also hear from Case Keenum. And we'll hear from you. Get it in. It is the Locker Room on YouTube. Landry Locker holding it down. CBS. I know a lot of y'all were impacted negatively by the CBS thing. I don't even know how to even like describe that thing. So the biggest story from this was the Case Keenum start. Case Keenum started. It was a surprise to anyone. To anyone that's followed this team, this was a surprise. If you were at training camp, I don't care. Like anyone who watched training camp, Davis Mills was the clear number 2. And if you watch them throw and if you watch them play outside of the preseason game before Case Keenum put on his performance and got hurt, Davis Mills was the clear number 2. They decided they were going to go with Case. And they ended up looking right. And the reason why Case is so easy to dismiss for anyone who covers Houston sports and actually covers Houston sports, not someone who just shows up and tries to mingle with players. But the thing about the Case thing is that people have been begging for Case Keenum to be the Texans quarterback for years. You go back like 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. Case Keenum's like he's a god here. And he's obviously more of a god here than he's ever been. We'll hear from him in a sec. But Case Keenum, the reason that it was so, I think let me put it this way. Had it been like, let's say Nick Foles had been the third string quarterback here, I think it would have been easier for me to like entertain the possibility because I wouldn't have been hearing Nick Foles' name for the last 10 years. But with Case, you hear that name all the time. Like you hear that name going back to 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, because he's Case, and you just naturally just kind of dismiss it. But Case ends up being the guy over Davis Mills, and it didn't seem like something that you would say that they shouldn't have done, but it was kind of something that was just a little bit random. Just a little bit random. And then you had the Titans at the start of the game taking the game to a complete disrespectful level with their not Bud Adams, the Bum Phillips. Shout out to Bum Phillips. Shout out to giving the Earl Campbell the rock 50 times. The Bum Phillips cap with Mike Vrabel, etc. The Oilers versus Texans, like all that type of stuff. We get up to pregame, and the Titans take it to like an extremely high disrespectful level. Let's hear from DeMeco Ryans. DeMeco Ryans met with the media after the game, after the Texans got the dub. Here's what DeMeco Ryans had to say, and we'll react to that, and then we'll get into everything else afterwards here in the locker room on YouTube.
Being resilient throughout the entire game. I mean, it took 4 quarters and the entire overtime for us to come through with this win, and it's credit to everyone, right? And really happy to have Kaimi back, and for him to step up and to make that game-winning kick for us is huge. So just proud of all of our guys. Defense played really great today, got after the quarterback, right? Kept down the explosive plays, held them in the run game. I thought all day the defense was playing really good football all day. For our guys, it's really not about uniforms. I mean, for us, it's about being effective when we're on the field, doing what we're supposed to do to go win a game. We really don't care what we're wearing or what the other team is wearing. It's about us playing good football.
start in a long time. Play this way. What does it say about Casey?
Yeah, Case did a really nice job today. I mean, being very efficient, all right, keeping us moving, and no play bigger than the play there at the end, right? Seeing him scramble around, right, to find motor for the big explosive pass to put us in field goal range. Right, it just shows Case is just a true professional, right? Even though he hasn't played in a while, he's ready for the moment, and he was ready for the moment. He let our guys know that he was ready for the moment, and he showed up and made big time plays for us. Yeah, I felt like they would give us the best chance to win this game.
DeMeco, what does this game maybe say about the depth of this team? You guys obviously down a lot of guys. I couldn't even remember all the guys off the top of my head, but what does it maybe say about kind of the depth of the group?
Yeah, we have a deep group, and one thing we talk about, one thing we preach is this: it doesn't matter who's out there. Right? Of course, we miss CJ, we miss Will, we miss Blake. A lot of guys who are out, and our guys didn't blink. It didn't matter. Whoever steps on that field, we expect our guys to give their best, and that's what they did today.
Coach, you talk about the overall play of the defense today.
Yeah, overall, I mean, when you sack the quarterback 7 times, all right, Nelson showed up big time with the interception and the pass breakup there in overtime. I mean, play after play, right? Defense stood up and made plays. Stingley played well for us. Christian Harris had a really good game. He was playing physical, flying around. Desmond King played really well for us. Just everybody did a really good job. I can name them all, but everybody did a really good job. But really proud of the D-line because that's where it starts. The way they were able to get pressure on Levis, all right, and the way our safeties and our corners played in the back end, it was awesome defense by everybody.
What were your day for Singletary? I mean, you seemed to touch the ball with every play for a long stretch there. Was that more of what they were giving you, or was your game plan?
Yeah, that was our plan. Try to run the ball. We know they have a tough up front, and it wasn't going to be easy. We had to stay after it, and Motor did a really nice job. The O-line did a really nice job of staying after their blocks and finishing. Motor, he had the hot hand, and we continued to ride him, and he showed up big for us. Oh, wow, what a play by Dalton there in the red zone for him to come down with that catch. It just shows the competitive spirit of Dalton and just the strength at the catch point to be able to make that play is unbelievable play. Happy he made it for us to set us up there for a score. Yeah, Noah was very effective today. He made a lot of plays downfield. He was open. He was able to beat man coverage a lot. Noah continues to show that he's a threat for us at the receiver position.
Take a few more.
He was a quarterback three throughout the entire year. How would you say about him being able to step up into the role of quarterback three and quarterback one and be effective enough for you guys to make?
Yeah, with Casey just has the experience, right? He's been there, he's done that. As he told the guys, it's not his first rodeo. He's been there, he's won big games. This was a big game for us. He stepped up and did. He's been there before, so it wasn't too big for him. He was made the right plays, and he helped us, right? Guys were in the right position. We ran the ball well, and I think that's what helped Case and the offense by us running the ball well, which is something, we hadn't done well over the past couple of weeks. So the way Motor ran the ball, the way Case played efficiently, Noah making big plays, Dalton, everybody stepping up when they needed to. And for me, it's just all 4 guys, right? I can't single out one guy on the defensive line because it was everybody making plays, all right? And it's all about 4 guys rushing together, and that's what they did. Multiple guys got sacks because they rushed together as a unit.
But with the way that the team played today, do you think that they had in the back of their mind knowing that they were down, a couple of brothers as far as playing with them, and what the playoff implications and what this game meant?
We knew we needed to play better. From our outing the previous week, it just wasn't our brand of football. So everybody had a bad taste in their mouth, and everybody just wanted to come out and play better football, right, and have a chance to compete. And we did that today. We competed, and we came out on
Can I ask it after this? I don't want to interrupt DeMeco. Can I ask it after this?
What does it say about your team that week after week you guys have been in position and been able to come out on top?
It shows that there's no quit in our team, and it shows that no matter what the situation is, no matter what the clock says, right, when we have an opportunity to win the game, we can win it in any form or fashion. And I'm proud of the guys, whether it's a game-winning field goal, whether it's a defensive stand, whatever it takes. Our guys have been battle tested. They've been in those moments, so nobody is panicking when we're in those situations.
Should I ask it? Should I ask it? Y'all let me know. Should I ask it? Y'all can't hear the question. Should I ask it? I don't want to ask it. Should I ask it?
No adjustments needed. Guys just made plays. Guys were where they were supposed to be. Guys played with heightened awareness of what they were trying to do to us, and everybody just made the plays that they were supposed to make.
Should I ask it?
Yeah, with the run defense, I felt like our
D-line, I'm asking a question.
The way they were playing on their side of the line of scrimmage,
Weasel?
It really stifled their run game, right? We had a ton of tackles for loss. We were in the backfield.
Should I ask it?
So when you're able to do that,
I want to ask
takes
it.
them out of the run game. All right, thanks, guys.
All right, there you go. That's DeMeco. Like, should I ask it? I see my man Laro saying cynical Landry. No, it's not cynical. It's Jeff Van Gundy Landry. Like, look at in victory what you would not ignore in defeat. I'm trying to practice what a lot of greats have done. Should I ask it or not? Yes or no? I'm asking y'all. Should I ask it or not? Y'all tell me. Tell me if I should ask it. Should I ask it? Because I legit have a question, man. I'm serious. Like, I asked this to all my friends, family. I called my pops on the way here. I called my pops and I said, Pops, I'm going to ask you this question. And I asked the question. He said, you kidding me? Should I ask it? Yes or no? Should I ask it? You know I'm going to ask it no matter what. I know we just beat the Titans, and I agree with that. We beat the Titans. We're about to hear from Case Keenum. We're about to revisit it. We're about to celebrate, man. You should be very happy about this. But I'm going to ask this question because I think it's fair. I think it's fair to be asked. I think it's very fair to be asked based on what you saw. Based on what you saw. And let's talk about these stats. Let's actually put these across now. Here we go. Texans, Titans, you see them down there now. Singletary, 26 carries, 141 yards. That's good. Noah Brown, 882 TD. Schultz, 4 for 48. Grenard, 2.5 sacks. Levis, 17, 26. Derrick Henry, 16 for 9. Derrick Henry had 16 carries for 9 yards. 16 carries for 9 yards is what he had. Derrick Henry. And Jonathan Grenard did his thing. I'm going to ask the question of the day. Y'all can get as mad at me as you want. I'm not even saying this. I love this guy. I still think this guy's going to be straight. I'm just going to ask you this. We were freaking out about injuries, right? We were freaking out about CJ. We were freaking out about Nico. We were freaking out about George Fant. I think you can make a case that you missed all those guys. Cashman, I think you missed him. Question of the day. And I'm going to let y'all answer it. Was Will Anderson missed? Was Will Anderson missed today? Because all you hear is, and I subscribe to it. I'm guilty of it. I'm almost calling myself out. All you hear is, well, he's not getting sacks, but, he's really good against the run. They just held Derrick Henry to fantasy losing type stats. Okay? Y'all watch Texans games, and I'm not even asking you to watch closely. Did you feel like there was a little more pressure today than there was before with Will Anderson? I'm serious. Number 95 on the Texans. If you told me that number 95 was Will Anderson, I would have said that dude was a bad mofo. That dude's cold as hell right there. Fool was all over the place. Did they miss Will Anderson today? Yes or no? You watch the games. I know you're not like watching like extra close. I don't blame you. I'm not either. I'm not separating myself from you. Derek Barnett was out there, number 95. That dude was all over the quarterback. That wasn't a pressure. That wasn't a win rate. That wasn't a pass rush, all that type of stuff. Did you miss Will Anderson today? My dad got offended when I asked him this question. And you know why he got offended? Because he said, did they miss him? They were better. He said, son, did they miss him? There was more pressure on the quarterback and they were stopping the run. Naughty Doodle said, hell yeah, they missed him. Based on what? What's that based on? I'm not sitting there. Jacob saying this is a Skip Bayless type of question. Tell me why. Jacob, matter of fact, slide in the messages. I'll let you like show your face and just dissect me like Skip Bayless, like Richard Sherman. Jacob, matter of fact, let's get you in here and let's let you, like, if you're gonna throw out this is a Skip Bayless type of question. I'm not sitting here saying that LeBron James sucks at basketball, sir. Jacob, for real, Landry.locker@gmail.com. Send me your link and I will invite you in this stream. I will share my stream with you. To throw out the name Skip Bayless, because I watched Derrick Henry get held to under 20 yards, and I watched the Texans pressure the quarterback, and you throw out that type of name on me, bring your ass in here. Landry.locker@gmail. Send me a goddamn email. For real. If you're gonna say that's a Skip Bayless type of question. Skip Bayless says stuff like LeBron James ain't good at basketball. I'm asking, did you miss Will Anderson today when Derrick Henry had under 20 yards? And the defense pressured the quarterback, and they ended up winning a damn game against Tennessee on the road with Case effing Keenum, the ghost of Case effing Keenum. So don't throw that crap out here, brother. Send me a damn email. If I don't get an email from you in 10 minutes, you're banned for life, brother. And I'm going Hulk Hogan, brother. And I'm laughing about it too. Don't throw Skip Bayless out there, because don't act like this is like a hot take type of thing. Weak ass mofo with that trash. Skip Bayless type of question. Corny ass, man. Landry.locker@gmail.com. I got my email up. I'll send you here and I'll let you tell me why they didn't miss. Tell me why that's crazy to ask. Did you miss Will Anderson today? Landry.locker@gmail.com. Talking Skip Bayless. I watch every damn snap of this squad. I defend Will Anderson. I still like Will Anderson. I still think Will Anderson's going to be nice. I don't feel like they missed him today. That's a Skip Bayless type question. Like I said here and said LeBron sucked at basketball or something like that. Get your ass out of here with that weak ass stuff. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Jacob. That corny ass stuff. It's whack ass stuff. Yeah, hell yeah, he's got my blood boiling, because that's a stupid ass question. That's a stupid ass question. Hell yeah, like, yeah, it was a survival type of game. I'm a Will Anderson fan too, Shane. But it makes you wonder. No, it doesn't matter. Like, do I think that matters? Like in the long term, no. But that, like in this game, did they miss Will Anderson? The answer is no. Weak ass Skip Bayless thing. Hell yeah, to act like that's like some sort of hot take is flat effing garbage. You ought to be ashamed of your damn self, Jacob. Take your ass out of here. That weak ass stuff. We barely won. There's no doubt they barely won. They were 4-point dogs with Case Keenum at quarterback. Okay? They've barely lost games with Will Anderson out there. I'm not fuming, man. Noah, this is me, bro. This is me, man. I'm not fuming. Of course we need Will Anderson back. My question is, did they miss him? I don't think they did today. I don't think they did today at all. Maybe that's a developmental thing. Who knows? But I don't think they missed him. Let's hear from Case Keenum, quarterback. Case Keenum. We'll see if Jacob comes through. I'm pretty interested in that. The Skip Bayless type of stuff. How is that even a thing? Let's hear from Case though. Case Keenum, quarterback. You see him rubbing that head. He's ready to go. Let's hear from Case.
It has been a minute. Man, to me. I've said this a lot of times, and I haven't really thought about what I was going to say up here, but wearing the name of Houston on the front of my jersey, which I've done for a long time, and to get to do it again and represent for our city, for our team, it means a lot. It really does. Second of all, this team, I love these guys. I love Seven back at home. Man, I love that guy. I love 10. Davis is one of the best human beings I know. Great dude. And I said early on Saturday, that this was a game for both of those cats, among, as well as the rest of the team, because we got a lot of love in that locker room, as you guys can see, and probably it radiates. And so it's very special, and what a gritty way to get it done.
The 41-yard pass to
Mm-hmm. Just yeah, it was a little scramble drill. I mean, we were working kind of left to right there, and just was able to escape up in the pocket, and Devin was my check down on the play basically, and he was able to break out of that and make a really good move with nobody on that side of the field, and I got him a ball where he could run, and he did a great job getting us in field goal range.
Case, what do you think it says about the depth of this team?
All right, we'll hear from Case in a sec. He's they kind of interrupted the video. Here you go. Let's get back to Case.
I said early on Saturday, that this was a game for both of those cats, among, as well as the rest of the team, because we got a lot of love in that locker room, as you guys can see, and probably it radiates. And so it's very special, and what a gritty way to get it done.
the 41-yard pass to
Mm-hmm. Just yeah, it was a little scramble drill. I mean, we were working kind of left to right there, and just was able to escape up in the pocket, and Devin was my check down on the play basically, and he was able to break out of that and make a really good move with nobody on that side of the field, and I got him a ball where he could run, and he did a great job getting us in field goal range.
Case, what do you think it says about the depth of this team, that you guys were down so many guys, back having to step up into bigger roles, and then also being down 13-0 on top of all that and still pulling this out? What do you think this says about the group and the talent you guys have?
Well, I think it says a lot. I think from top to bottom, room to room, we've got some really talented guys. I think Nick's done a great job, DeMeco, of putting this team together. We all have trust, and it doesn't matter who's out there. We trust that we're going to get the job done, and we did. We put ourselves in a hole early. A big mistake by me. I pride myself in taking care of the football, and that was, a really bad decision on a key play that didn't need to do that. It was an easy read front side and got ahead of my feet a little bit, but man, our defense played incredible today. They did such a good job of keeping those guys, with DeAndre and the big running back. Man, it's those are tough guys to stop, and they did a great job today keeping us in the game. And man, Emi finishing it out. Awesome team win, incredible team win. Hard to win in this league. Hard to win in December when games matter in this league, and that one mattered a lot.
You mentioned you were playing for 7, 10. DeMeco earlier said this team has no quit. For you guys to be able to pull out this win, what does that say what does that say about this team and their ability to, no matter what's thrown at them, find ways to make things happen?
Yeah, I think it's right along the lines of the same thing I just said. I mean, overcoming adversity. I think that everybody on this team looks at adversity as opportunity, ready to overcome, ready to on to the next play. And you need that in this type of league. If you're going to go and be a playoff contender, get to the dance, succeed in the dance, you got to be gritty. You got to be willing to stand up when you get punched in the face and get knocked down, get back up and go do it. And there was no blinking on that sideline. Nobody blinked. When I threw that pick, came off, had everybody slap me on the back, say, "It's all right, we'll go do it." And we did. It was great. And just so happy for the McNairs, to hug them on the way out, Coach DeMeco, this whole team, this whole squad, like I said, for the city. It's pretty special.
Case Keenum live in the locker room here on In the Loop Sports Radio 610. Not really. It's actually on YouTube.
I'm built for this.
Used to that reset.
I've been in a lot of situations. I've been in a lot of systems. Been in a lot of different games, and but God's made me who I am for moments like this, and it's just trying to make sure that I'm ready when my number's called. And I said it before, you don't have to get ready if you stay ready.
Last one. Obviously, the win, the team win is the most important. Obviously, are you able to appreciate the moment of not having started since week 17 of 21 to now, being able to come out and just perform like this today?
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, there's always a lot of nerves and different feelings when you haven't strapped it up in a while and had some real live shots at it. So to be able to get out there and succeed and really show my team what I can do felt pretty good. So what's up, Drew?
How important was Singletary today? What did he mean?
Motor's my guy. I think I've said that maybe 100 times, probably a bunch to y'all, but man, he made some incredible moves. There's some moves. I don't know if anybody else has a view of what I do. Well, I probably should be carrying out my fake, but I tend to peek back and watch. He had little subtleties of movements that he sets up blocks and can make guys move, around their blockers and then squirt through these little holes. Man, it's impressive to watch. He is an impressive guy and an awesome human being. Great family. His kid Miles, man, he's a little mini motor, and he might be a better running back than Motor will be one day. He's already running around the house, but I love Motor, man. He's so crucial to this team, and he's coming alive at an incredible time of the year. So I'm excited about that.
All right, thanks, Case.
All right, there you go. That's Case Keenum here in the locker room post-game show. I thought I asked the question. Question of the day. I think it's very fair. Was Will Anderson missed? I don't think he was. Don't think he was. Were they better without him? That's the question. Like, were they better? And I love Will. Was Will Anderson missed today? I mean, I think, and I've defended the trade, and I've looked at it as like a package deal with what DeMeco Ryans is, with the preaching of the effort and all that type of stuff. Do you need to bring in an effort guy? This is new to me. Like, this is new to me. Like, this is the reason I'm asking this is more for me, not for you. Because I look at this as I just saw it. Like, I just saw it in front of my own eyes. I saw the Texans as a 3.5-point underdog. I saw them going against Derrick Henry. I saw Derrick Henry as a non-factor, one of his worst game of the year. I saw more pressure on the quarterback than I've seen all season long by the Texans, and there was no Jimmy Ward. Jimmy Ward left early. Lord. Like, does that mean that moving forward, that's a big deal? Would I rather have like the Texans without Will Anderson? No, definitely not. Damn, I just think it kind of makes you think. Appreciate everyone for coming through. It is a locker room. Luis says he was 100% missed. Okay. How so, Luis? Tell me that. I'll wait for you, Luis. How was Will Anderson 100% missed? 100%, 100% missed. 100%. Yeah, he's a rookie for sure. I agree with you. He's a rookie. That's definitely a fact. Joe doesn't like the question of the day. Why? Why? Did you not watch the game? Did you like I feel like CJ was missed. I feel like Nico was missed. George Fant was probably missed. Why don't you like the question of the day? Derek asks, what does it matter? What does it not matter? By the way, you didn't catch that fish, by the way, in that profile pic. I guarantee you that. Guarantee you had 20 people helping you catch that. You probably paid people to take you out on the water to catch that. And you probably didn't even reel it in. Be honest. You just took the picture. But yeah, I'm just asking, like, what did you watch this and feel like Will was missed? I like Will. Definitely need him for sure. Not questioning that. Definitely need him. Let's kind of retrace the game. It is the locker room here on YouTube. Appreciate everyone for coming through. 100% missed. I don't really know about that. Evo's laughing about the fish. Now, Evo, you caught that fish. I can guarantee you, he caught that. That dude sitting there with that marlin, that dude had nothing to do with that. God dang. He sat there and said, hey, someone reeled this in. Let me take a picture by it. Dude didn't catch a damn thing. Promise you that. Derek said it. Nah, you didn't catch that. Yeah. I don't know what the wire man means, but I know damn sure you didn't catch that. Do I feel like they would have been worse? I don't know about that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, was he missed? Like, my thing is this, like, I watched the thing with Will Anderson is it's been advanced statistics has been the sales pitch, right? Like, so it's been like, yeah, his win rate is this, blah, blah, blah. He's close to the quarterback, but he's not. That they sacked the quarterback today more than they have most games this year. And that was without Will Anderson. They also stopped the run at an elite level. So you can't hang your hat on run blocking. So this isn't like some sort of mystery type of thing. So no, do I think they would have been worse off? I don't think so, but I don't know that they could have been much better. That's my point. Like it's very, very obvious. H Town's Ultimate says Steven Nelson, what a baller. Let me say this about Steven Nelson. I am so impressed with Steven Nelson. The fact that he is A, willing to play hurt at an extreme level, B, goes through all that drama and then comes in and was the best cornerback up till when Stingley came back the second time around. I think Derek Stingley deserves, or not Derek Stingley, I think Steven Nelson deserves a hell of a lot of credit. P. Nasty, I think this is like a big hardo football guy. Landry, it's not a hard concept to understand. Will Anderson would have had more production than his sub. Good thing Titans O-line is trash, so no, he wasn't missed because our guys did fine. I don't know what you just said, my friend. I have no idea what you just said, my friend. Is Stingley now in the elite category? I said this and I got a lot of texts. I wasn't even trying to be funny. I was just saying, I was just talking the way I talk. I was just talking the way I talk. I think Derek Stingley has the ball skills of a porn star. Derek Stingley can go up and get the ball like crazy. He's got the ball skills of a porn star. That's what Derek Stingley has. He goes up and gets that rock. So shout out to Derek Stingley. That dude sees ball, gets ball, much like a porn star. Let's go through the game. It is the Locker Room post-game show here on YouTube. To start the game off, you had the aggressive drive from Tennessee after the Texans failed to move the chains on their opening drive. You had Will Levis going in for the touchdown. He made it 6-0. Mike Vrabel went for it on 4th down in his own territory. Derrick Henry moved the chains. One of his few productive runs. You had the Treylon Burks for 39, which I think they said he had like 11 or 15 catches, which is insane. And then you had the suspect free play to Westbrook, which went inside the 5, which I thought was pretty weird because the offensive lineman, like the D lineman, allegedly jumps off sides and the O lineman touches him. That automatically stops the play. Levis rolls out, throws it to his left. It goes in and inside the 5 to Westbrook, and they end up getting inside the 5. DeMeco threw the challenge, didn't end up working out for him, and the Texans fell down 6-0. Then you had the Case Keenum pick 6 to make it 13-0. I think Dare and him were not on the same page, so it was 13-0, and you started to wonder. And I put this tweet out, $20 to win $150 is what it was for Texans money line. Some people might have made that bet. Some might not have, but the Texans were down 13-0 at that point, and you're starting to wonder, oh, is Davis Mills going to come in? Are they going to figure this out? But they were down 13-0. Texans then get a couple of stops. They get the rock. They're looking to cut it to 1 possession. Devin Singletary moves the chains on 4th and 1. Huge part of the most successful first half drive. And it gets me to wondering, and this is just the way that my brain thinks, why is Devin Singletary not the end-all, be-all number 1 running back? And he's been, when you needed him, like against Cincinnati and then against Arizona. But when Dameon Pierce came back, they started like that equal share. Like, what was that about? And furthermore, like on 4th and 1, you trust him to move the rock, but you didn't trust him against Cincinnati when it was 4th and 3, when you had 3rd and 3, when you had a 2 possession lead. You didn't trust him to move the chains when it was 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 against Jacksonville. Like, why is it that whenever it's nut cutting time, you trust Devin Singletary, but anytime you get any leeway, you decide not to? I thought BMX Bobby, and I call Bobby Slowick BMX Bobby because with that hoodie and that flat bill, he looked like kind of a junior BMX rider on the sidelines. And I didn't really understand that, but the Texans make it 13-3 at half. They end up settling for 3. You kind of feel bittersweet, but 13-3, maybe there's a little bit of a chance for the Texans at 13-3. I thought this was kind of a pivotal moment for the Texans. So it's 13-3. Will Levis, he rolls out, he moves the chains, and then he starts acting extra cocky. And there was some jamoke, some jackass who a lot of times he's wrong, maybe more times than often he's wrong. He tweeted out right after Will Levis made that play at 13-3. He tweeted out, he said, quote, "Will Levis is tough as hell. Keep playing the right way and staying strong, and he's going to let you back into it." That dumbass was me. because I feel like Will Levis does not eat the cheese well. He threw the 4 touchdowns in his debut, lost 3 games after that, threw as many interceptions as he did touchdowns. And seconds after that, he throws the interception to Steven Nelson and lets you right back in the game. So voila. Texans then cut it to 13-6 on the field goal. Gets a little bit interesting, back and forth, couple of punts, and then this is where DeMeco Ryans. I said this was the DeMeco game. DeMeco Ryans, your defense. You hold Derrick Henry, that's one thing, but like it takes more to be a head coach than just coaching your defense. DeAndre Hopkins, cross the middle. DeAndre Hopkins goes for the catch. Looks like it's a big catch. Jalen Petrie lost as hell. As usual in coverage, or not as usual. That's kind of harsh. But Jalen Petrie kind of looks beat by DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre appears to make the catch. Jalen Petrie right there. I didn't even like in real action. It didn't seem like there was anything disputable, but DeMeco Ryans right on cue throws the challenge flag, perhaps the biggest decision and biggest play of the game. And he took away the catch from DeAndre Hopkins. Now, had that been like a Vogue article or a like something like that, like some sort of clout instead of pigskin, if the football had been made of clout instead of pigskin, DeAndre probably would have caught it, but he dropped it because it wasn't made of clout. And the Texans end up getting the rock back. So then you have the Texans looking to take the lead. Noah Brown called off sides. It negates a 3rd down conversion. Now, Mother Football, one of my favorite people in the world, Shereen Williams. Shout out to Shereen Williams. I love you, ma'am. You are one of the goddesses of football. She brought this up. It probably should have been a false start by Laramie Tunsil. But instead, it gets called offsides by Noah Brown. Seems like they're calling a lot of offsides since that Chiefs thing. And the play gets called back. So the Texans have to settle for a field goal to cut it to 13-9. Titans then driving. Now, you want to hold the Titans to a field goal because you don't want this to be a situation where you have to get 2 possessions in how much ever, 8 minutes or whatever. Will Levis helps you out. Goes back to that Jamoke who said Will Levis is going to get you back in the game. Will Levis has a Brock Osweiler type of moment. He throws it backwards to the 33-yard line. And that made it a situation where Tennessee had to settle for a field goal. So the Titans make it 16-9 after the Will Levis throw fumble. And then the Texans looking for a chance to tie it and maybe perhaps go for 2, which I was not like, I wasn't trying to get ahead of myself. But it wouldn't have shocked me had the Texans decided to do that, although I would have been against it. So the Texans going for the tie. Case Keenum throws up a pass, could have easily been intercepted. Dalton Schultz, who, by the way, what a massive game for Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz was freaking sick today. He was real not. Dalton Schultz, you have earned – this week, let me think about this because I know how much you like to stream. I don't want to be too crazy. And I know that the new Call of Duty out. Let me know in the comments. What's the new video game out? Because I don't play video games no more. I know Dalton does. We've talked to him on the show. What is it? World of Warcraft or is it? No, World of Warcraft's gone. I'm making myself look old as hell now, even older. It's Call of Duty, right? Call of Duty's out, right? Someone help me out, youngsters. It's what's on? Is it Halo? What are they playing now? GTA? Nah, GTA ain't out. MW, what's MW3? All right, Modern Warfare. Yeah, Modern Warfare. So Dalton Schultz, you've earned. I know how long he can go, man. 20 hours of stream time with Modern Warfare. 20 hours of stream time. Dalton Schultz with that catch inside the goal line. Texans tie it at 16. Noah Brown, that jersey swag, another friend of the show. He sends it to 16. And then the Texans, this is where it got interesting, and this is where it got kind of strange. So the Texans pause. Cody Stuts talking pause. Stuts, you want to come in here? Stuts, let me know if you want to come in here. I want to invite Cody Stuts in here. I'm going to send him this and bring him in here. He's talking pause. There ain't no pause, brother. I'm going to send Cody Stuts a link. But yeah, Dalton Schultz, man, you're misusing pause like DJ Envy, brother. The hell is wrong with you? I just sent Stutes something. So the Texans end up tying the game, and then it's like, do you get aggressive? Do you use your timeouts? They use the timeouts, but then this is where it got real weird. Why bring in Davis Mills for the 60-yard Hail Mary in a tie game? I was kind of confused by that. Like you don't trust Davis Mills in this game. So in a long-term, long yardage Hail Mary, why are you bringing Davis Mills in for this? I thought that was kind of weird. Like, it wasn't like the end-all, be-all. He did end up getting sacked. Like, if he would have fumbled, it would have been disastrous. But it's not – can Davis Mills throw it 60 yards? Kind of thought that was a little bit unnecessary, especially with, like, the way this whole thing has been functioned. But whatever they wanted to do, they wanted to do. So we get to overtime. Devin Singletary has a touchdown taken away. Argue amongst yourselves as to whether or not you thought that was the right call. I did not think that was the right call. I thought they should have. I thought they should have counted that touchdown, and Devin Singletary should have had his heyday. But then the Texans settle for the field goal, 54, and Ka'imi Fairbairn wins it. So bada bing, bada boom. Texans win. Cody Stuts about to come in. Final thoughts on the game. Will Levis, I thought Will Levis, he's average. He's not good. He's a guy who's going to, I don't even know that he's going to win you games, but I think he's going to lose you games. I think Will Levis lost the Titans this game. I think Will Levis lost the Titans this game. He had that one good play. The Titans had the pick six. Will Levis lost the Titans this game. Period, point blank, end of story. Which he has multiple times, and that was the biggest question mark about him. Thoughts on BMX Bobby? I thought BMX Bobby did his thing. And the reason I call him BMX Bobby is because on the sidelines with that hoodie and that hat, Bobby Slowick looked like a amateur BMX bike rider. And he was fine. He actually had a really good game plan. I just get pissed off at Bobby with when I go back in time. Kind of upsets me. Final thought, Derek Stingley, he has ball skills like a porn star. 100%. My baby's in here. So I got my baby, and I'm going to bring in Cody Stuts. Wifey's about to go to her thing. Stutsy, what's up, man?
What up, big dog?
Chilling, man. Avery.
I know you and I don't over romanticize like coaching staffs coaching their ass off. We usually call it like we see it, and it's not perfect, but it's a whole lot easier to figure out some of the bad stuff that went wrong and fix it after you get a win than to get a loss or a tie. My goodness. Just this is how many coaches. This is a good question. I think you're probably one of the best people to answer this. How many coaches could have coached the Houston Texans to a victory today? Like, you plop that coach in there, how many guys could have done that? I think it's less than 10.
My thing has been this. I would always take DeMeco Ryans like over any other coach in the NFL. I was having questions about the defense heading into this game, just based on like with Atlanta, I gave him kind of a break. Like I gave him a break, like
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they didn't have the full secondary, but I thought this game was like perfect. And I started asking like, and I asked my dad, the way that my dad is, and I don't want to like harp on this. We can get into this a little bit later on, or you can get into this, but I asked my dad, I was like, did they miss Will Anderson today? He said, did they miss him? Like, oh, they look better. And I'm just like, but the way that the defense was called, the way that they handled stuff, like there were no knocks on it at all.
Yeah, I mean, like there were opportunities where decisions or players that they put in that position could have lost them the game, and that didn't happen. And that's a credit to, I mean, you think about a guy like Denzel Perryman, who's had some rough games, certainly been put in some rough positions where he's had to cover at the linebacker spot, and he has the day that he has. Christian Harris has a really nice day. The defense overall just bounces back from the crappy performance last week. I mean, this is a Titans team that was coming off of their best win of the season and one of the better wins of the year across the NFL, and then they couldn't get anything going. Landry, Will Levis had 77 passing yards on the first drive, and he finished with 199.
He was trash. And the whole thing was after he made that play, he threw the interception. And it was just like, what'd you think of Slowick?
I thought he had some really rough moments, but ultimately you can live with some of those rough moments because he got it done. Like, I thought they were overly cautious early with Keenum with some of the quick and short stuff. But it felt like about getting the rust off of him. He started 2 games in 3 years. So like you get the rust off of him. Once they got the rust off of him, okay, let's call the plays beyond the sticks. Let's see if the old man's arms got the juice in it. And it did. It did. That's, you and I watched him in training camp. I've been watching him in practice. My biggest question was, does his arm have the juice to make some of the throws that he's going to need to make to win a football game? And after he got warmed up, he had the juice to make some of those throws over the middle to Noah Brown. He got the sideline a couple of times on a sideline throw, the Dalton Schultz throws. Now, anybody and their mom could have just thrown the ball into the air and hoped Dalton Schultz made him right. Ultimately, he did. But man, for all the hurdles that should have kept this team from winning the game, DeMeco Ryans just stepped over them like they were Legos on the floor. Just whoop, 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 just stepped right over them.
Yeah. Do you think how'd you assess the Keenum performance? I thought he was, look, like in the second half, it's hard to really question like what he ended up doing. I felt like this was I was talking to someone earlier this week, and it felt Robert Saleh in that, you go with Tim Boyle instead of Zach Wilson, and it ends up backfiring. But it almost feels like a Tim Boyle decision gone right. And I don't mean any disrespect to Case Keenum there, but it just felt like it felt like now that we have revisionist history, and I said this when the decision was made, like there was no instance where I was going to go on the air on Monday and say, oh, they should have gone with Davis Mills. Like I never felt that way, but it now that we saw what we saw, it almost feels like you almost had like a really good feel of stuff.
He finished with 7 passes of 15 yards or more, made that huge play to extend the play with a little bit of mobility to get the ball to Devin Singletary on the right side in overtime. It took him a minute to get warmed up, certainly. But as far as what you could expect out of the third-string quarterback who had started 2 games in 3 seasons and hadn't played at all this year, that's a really impressive performance. I mean, you probably didn't think you're going to have to throw the ball 36 times with him. But for him to do what he did he made the one god-awful mistake. And he went to the podium.
Was it his mistake or was it Dare's?
he took credit for the mistake at the podium, in my opinion. So, and so, that's a mistake that could have, just absolutely crushed them. It didn't. And for a long time, that was the only way the Titans scored was that play. He didn't make a whole bunch of other mistakes. I mean, he got hit a few times, and there was some pressure on him. And they had the intentional grounding that gets called on everybody. It could have been way worse. They took care of the ball for the most part. I mean, for what they wanted, for the reasoning and what they maybe wanted Keenum in there instead of Mills, they got it. There was poise. He didn't let mistakes build on him, and he was accurate with the football when he did throw it.
What's going on Houston football and stuff? Let the people know.
Houston football got the 11 observations and then some up from the game on the website, www.houfootball.com, or just Google my name, Cody Stuts, Houston football. You can find it. And then got the YouTube video popping up here shortly. So lots of fun stuff, man.
Other stuff, and people are bringing this up. How did Dameon Pierce ever get back in the mix after Singletary's performances? It's kind of weird.
It's interesting because DeMeco Ryans, he will not single out a player, but he'll single out groups from times to time. And so for weeks, he's been saying the offensive line has had this or that right in the rushing attack. And he even said it last week. And so it's been on maybe the backs and the extra characters around the backs to get things going. And it finally clicked for Devin Singletary. Slowick called a really good game. And the thing I like too is, yes, in overtime, that first drive I would have liked maybe to mix in a run after you get sacked on the first play. I understand why you're not running the football in second and super long, but it seemed like he didn't shy away from it either. Like after they got third and short or second and short, like, hey, right back to Devin Singletary, put it right back in his belly, give him the opportunity. So it finally clicked, and you can't put Dameon Pierce on the field anymore. So
no doubt.
If Singletary needs a breather, then run an empty set.
Yeah, no doubt. Appreciate you, man. I'll talk
you.
to you a little bit later. You're
Sounds
the man.
good.
Houston football, best guy on the beat, on the mix, doing his thing, slinging it around town. But yeah, we'll wait. What? All right, holler. Appreciate you. All right, Texans get the dub. Case Keenum is a hero. You're a hero. Appreciate y'all for coming through. DeMeco Ryans, this is his signature dub. And the Oilers, that fake ass pandering did not pay off. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like the video. Appreciate everyone for rolling through. I got my angry ass baby. Avery Grace is not too happy with me right now. I don't know what her take. Did they miss Will Anderson today? Do you think so? Do you think they missed Will Anderson today? You had hot takes earlier. Now you're just on that passy. All right. Appreciate you for coming through. Always remember, when it comes to this Texan stuff, we're all in it together. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the Locker Room on YouTube. You know what it is. Let's get it. Hey, Locker Room. Yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk. Yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize every angle's what we really do. We the source. We the pulse of the city too. Landlocked. Got the game in the headlock. Localize every time. Can't stop, won't stop. Yeah, we top two and we not too plugged in.